we keep talking about it.
We talking about it. Yeah.
Sanders, I think, did very, very well last night, but the issue was he did flub a couple of times.
He did, absolutely.
But one, he flubbed on his gun answer.
Absolutely.
I understand that he's fighting for his constituents, and I understand that he does believe in sensible gun control. So, I mean, I understand what he was saying, but for the Democratic Party as a whole, we're a little tougher on gun control. The second point on Sanders was Black Lives Matter. I know he met with them. I know that they explained their reason why Black Lives Matter is better than All Lives Matter. And I understand why he regurgitated their logic behind it on the debate stage.
I've still not watched this.
Yes, but if he pandered any harder to minorities, I'm sorry, like it would have been ugly.
I don't think he was pandering. I feel like other people after him were pandering a bit more.
Absolutely. No, other people after him were trying to be like, oh, that's
what
what Bernie said?
Yeah.
We have to go along with that. We have to try to run up him.
But I do believe that Sanders believed everything that he said.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that for a second. But at the same time, it seemed like I'm reaching for the black.
No, it also seemed like that was the one thing rehearsed out of his entire.
It was rehearsed.
Yeah, it seemed like
it
that
was.
was rehearsed.
If you look at all the articles that came before the debate, Bernie's camp said that they were trying to make sure in the debate they reached the minority population, and that was.
It's really peaking right now is the black vote.
Yeah.
I think a couple of states, things like that.
I think
when
a
it
lot
comes
of
to the
that.
minorities, he very much, that's where he's looking. If he gets the black vote and Biden doesn't jump in, Hillary's gone.
Well, I think he's going to get the black and Hispanic. I think he's going to get almost the entire minority vote compared to Hillary. But
I think it has, as long as he keeps getting the airtime now, especially after this first debate, and I think a lot of media outlets are realizing
he's on Ellen DeGeneres
as a joke, which is huge.
Yeah, it was a great show.
I didn't see it, but I'll look for it.
You were going to talk about his first flub on gun control, though.
Okay, I'll touch on that. With the Black Lives Matter, I don't have a problem with his response to that. I'm glad he said it that way, and I'm glad he put it that way. I do wish, however, that he put, of course Black Lives Matter, but all lives do matter. But what the issue is here is that systematically, Black lives are being minimized in essence. And I wish he had put it that way, but I'm not going to, nitpick, because I agree. His gun control issue and what I was expecting you to say, his foreign policy, those two were the weakest for me. And I wish he had a better response for gun control, because he started off good. He was representing his constituents. And that's a great statement to lead off with. Where you go next from it is what people draw opinions from. Because if he had taken it to, I represented my constituents, they were happy. If I can represent those, imagine what I can do if I'm the president representing all of you as my constituents. Yeah. He could have also taken it to, compare it to Hillary, who was representing her constituents in 2007, 2008, when Wall Street was running free, running rampant, and the economic crash happened. That is something he should have taken it to and said, what did you do about that when you were representing your constituents?
Flip it on its head.
Yeah.
He won't attack her. He will not attack her.
Yeah,
No, he will not. He will not. He stated, and I'm glad he stuck by that. But at the same time, I wish he had just made an effort to say, don't attack me for representing my people when you represent your people and you are bought by your people.
Right.
Don't come after me for doing my job well and right and you are doing your job well and right by representing the people who have hurt so many Americans, not just in your state, but all of America.
Well, and on those two issues,
That's a good answer.
yeah, I think that was a great issue. A great
That's
answer.
been an amazing answer from him.
Yeah, and he wouldn't necessarily have attacked Hillary, but he would have been like, you know, my constituents are actually my people. Your constituents don't even live in your state. Like, you know, it's like, who are your real constituents? Because I know my constituents are my people. But when it comes to gun control, I just want to say, I didn't necessarily feel it was a flub. I just feel like he didn't feel comfortable elaborating on his point because it was a very conservative point. And it's a bit, and that's why I agree with what he stated. What he stated was, I don't think that gun manufacturers and gun sellers should be held liable for someone who uses their gun to kill someone. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I
agree with that. I mean, you know, let's be honest. It doesn't make sense unless that gun manufacturer, that gun shop is selling illegal weapons, which has actually come out
illegal
just
people.
recently.
Yeah.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening everywhere, though.
Yes, and those people should absolutely be criminally prosecuted and
Yes,
they
they should.
There is nothing in this country that is illegal that I can't go get tomorrow. I can find it somewhere.
Oh yeah,
So no matter what they do with gun control, they're still going to be here.
Yeah, but that's not the issue. The issue is do you blame the person selling it? If they're selling it in an illegal manner, of course. But if they're selling it in a legal manner, they're following their bylaws in their state, no matter how lax those bylaws may be.
no, then they're not.
Then they're not liable. Like, I can't sue McDonald's for making me fat. I keep going to buy it. Like, so.
I worked a job one time where I actually, I was loaning out money, and one of my clients' wives come in, and she's like, "You can't give him any more money. He's wasting it on drugs. He's doing this." Ma'am, I don't get to tell him what he can spend this money on. That's not my business. He come in here, he qualified equally like anybody else did. I gave him the money. What he does with it is on his own.
Exactly.
Sorry, you know, if I'd have done anything differently, if I'd have tried to stop him, I'd have been held liable in court for, you know, discrimination and treating him differently. So, no, if you're doing everything right, you don't get to be responsible for those things. In the end, we all make our own decisions.
And I absolutely agree.
But I feel like that's what Bernie Sanders wanted to say, but was a bit afraid to say. He was being a bit political, and he was afraid to say it because he was like, oh crap, if I say this the way I'd like to say it, the way I'm passionate about saying it, like we're saying it now, the base might get a bit upset at me, and I can't afford for that right now. So I'm just going to kind of defer my answer back to a previous answer and kind of try to move on from that.
I will say, despite his weak gun policy and his foreign policy, he still won every poll.
Yep. And
Absolutely every poll, even Fox News, he won that.